Hey guys, so today I'm gonna switch this up. Hi, I'm Holly, also known as Potter Minifig Pals, and I believe that the beauty and Lego community are exactly the same. And yes, you're probably thinking I'm insane for thinking that, but I'm gonna show you why. So a couple of days ago, a commentary YouTuber made a video about why the Lego community is kind of like Ryan's toy reviews and like the really oversaturated, over-contrasted kids YouTube channels. And full disclosure, I haven't watched the entire video. I watched Dark Brick's recap of it, and basically what I got from that video was these Lego YouTubers are crying and complaining over everything, and like they're very similar to like the really over-the-top, super kid-friendly content. And Dark Bricks brought up in his video that he thinks we're more like the beauty community, which is a thought I'd been having for quite a while now. And that started when the latest set of beauty guru drama happened with Tati's latest video. Now, I watched like 20 minutes of that video, and literally I switched out of that account, logged on to my Lego account, and I was like, you know what, like I'm not going back, I'm bored. But then when I started watching a lot more Lego videos, I realized that the communities are actually pretty similar, because to my surprise, there was actually drama inside the Lego community as well. I have been watching the Lego community since 2010, so it has been 10 years of me watching this content and enjoying it. I posted my first video to this channel in April of 2011. In 2013 though, I started watching a lot more beauty content, and the more that I think about it, the more I realize that these two communities are the same. They both focus on review, they both have products with scheduled releases, both do a lot of tutorials and focus heavily on creativity and imagination. Plus, they both have their fair share of drama. And obviously the Beauty Gurus is on a much larger scale. It's insane, and I'm sure you've all heard at least something about it. So being a part of these two communities for as long as I have noticed quite a lot. So starting at the beginning of this realization, on July 1st, Tati released a video, and in that video she directly referenced the massive blow up and drama that she caused last year with her video Bye Sister, which was directly targeting James Charles. So I was comparing the popular Lego YouTubers and the popular beauty influencers together, and I drew a lot of similarities. Of course these people aren't exactly the same, but I was genuinely like surprised to see how similar they were. But also in regards to the products that these two communities talk about. So we have makeup and we have Lego. They're like apples and oranges. Very different, but fundamentally they're the same thing. So both products firstly target themselves to a wide variety of ages. Now, while makeup focuses primarily on adults and Lego focuses primarily on kids, there are products for the opposite ages. Every girl will remember playing with like those really young, really basic makeup palettes. Lego, on the other hand, also has a lot of massive display pieces and really expensive products that only really adults are going to be able to afford to buy. And especially over the last year, they've started targeting their AFOL community a lot more with their plain black boxes and range of 18+ sets. They also both have a very strong gender bias. The beauty community is primarily female and the Lego community is primarily male. However, both also have their fair share of the opposite gender, because at the end of the day, these products can be used by anyone. And one of the key things as well is that both offer products that target creativity and imagination. In beauty, you have a wide range of colors to create different makeup looks. You also have special effects makeup as well. And Lego, of course, is a building toy. You can rip it apart and you can do whatever you want with it. That's why mocks are so popular. But in terms of the creators, now this is where it gets really interesting. I drew a lot of comparisons between both beauty YouTubers and Lego YouTubers. And starting off, we have James Charles. Now, he was the center of so much drama last year, and to me, James Charles reminds me so much of Ryan or M&R Productions. Okay, but like, hear me out for a second. Both are upcoming and really successful creators, and both are sometimes seen as controversial creators, and they're both in their early 20s. Both channels are very creative and very engaging and do a lot of different content to what people typically expect from their categories. And the funniest one of all is both have had grown adults come after them. I'm just saying. Next, we have Tati. Now, she created a video called Bye Sister and kind of kicked off all that drama. And while this isn't completely the same, she reminds me a lot of the Brick Queen. Both of them went after that young creator, James Charles and Ryan, because they upset them. Whether that be through their actions or a video that was made about them, they kind of both came after them. All guns are blazing. They also both made videos about it and neglected to take accountability to their actions and kind of pushed the blame onto other people, which is not the best thing. In this case, Tati was trying to blame Shane Dawson for forcing her to make that Bye Sister video, and the Brick Queen, on the other hand, was trying to justify why she wore a slave layer outfit to review Lego sets. And she was saying it's because she's a female and she can wear whatever she wants. Okay, she's kind of got a point. However, Lego is ultimately a children's toy, and while I don't think we should be sexualizing women just because of what they're wearing, I don't think you should be doing that and having a kid's product in the same video. And I agree with Ryan, she should definitely have made that video age restricted, because when I watched that when I was younger, it made me feel really awkward and uncomfortable. She has a neck brace on, is held up by a chain, and Brick Queen had that in that Death Star video. I also found out recently that it wasn't just that video she wore it in, she wore it in another 5 or more videos. And as someone who was a young child when these videos came out, who saw them and felt uncomfortable by them, yeah, not a really good look, I'm sorry. And our third creator in the triangle of YouTube drama is Jeffree Star, and this isn't his first rodeo, just like The Brick Show, who had been called out and gotten in trouble so many times. Now both are problematic, but make good content / products. I really enjoyed watching The Brick Show's videos for many years. They were some of the first people that I started to watch. I also own a few Jeffree Star cosmetics products. They are good products, they work really well, and they are to a very high standard. And as problematic as these two are, I can't deny that fact. They're also both original creators who have been here for such a long time and both expanded their businesses into other areas. Jeffree with Jeffree Star Cosmetics, and The Brick Show by opening up an eBay store and expanding their team and having a website. And they both got themselves in trouble. Jeffree Star for using a lot of racist slurs, and The Brick Show for posting confidential images 3 times and getting their channel ultimately taken down. They also both made casual sit-down / apology videos about these things, although Jeffree hasn't done one with the latest drama, which is interesting. On the slightly less dramatic side, next we have Nikkietutorials. And Nikkietutorials kind of reminds me of Just Too Good. Both very popular creators. They're also not really ever involved in drama. They both have really solid content and are really good at what they do. And they are loved by so many people. Next we have our super popular, very kid-friendly creators, Zarwella and Jang Bricks. Both have massive channels and are very kid / family friendly, even though their videos aren't necessarily made for kids. They also both have very calm and easy to watch videos. It's something you can watch and it will calm you down and make you feel really relaxed. Next up we have our two who are very well known for one particular thing, Jacqueline Hill and Ashen. Now this one's kind of odd, but Jacqueline Hill, if you've never heard of her, is very well known for her tutorials. Now this has nothing to do with like any of her drama, because although Jacqueline Hill has been attached in drama, I don't think Ashen has ever, so we're ignoring that fact. Ashen is really well known for his digital drawings of minifigures, and that's how I first found out about him. And both of these creators are very good at what they do, which is why they're both as popular as they are. Another odd thing that I thought of is that they both live far away from like majority of where the rest of their communities are. Most of the beauty gurus live in LA, while Jacqueline lives in Florida, and most of the Lego community lives in Florida, but Ash lives in Canada. Very minor detail, but I wanted to note it anyway. And lastly, just for fun, we have Jenna Marbles and myself. And that's purely because I just love Jenna. She's not technically a beauty YouTuber, she's a YouTuber. There are also a lot of similarities in how the beauty brands work versus how Lego products work. You have your very fancy, very expensive designer brands like Marc Jacobs and Tom Ford, but you also have your D2C sets. Both have a hefty price tag, and most of the time you get an amazing product. Then you've got your slightly higher end but not too expensive brands like NARS and Benefit, which remind me a lot of Lego Star Wars. And I love both these things, but I find with both of them as well, I'm hesitant to purchase it because I'm thinking I could probably get just as good of a product for a lower price if I go with something else. You've then got your home brand type products, Sephora Collection and Lego City. Both are pretty good and they're made by the companies themselves, although Sephora is technically not all of makeup, it's like where it's sold. We then have our drugstore products and our under $20 sets. Both are nice and cheap, they do their jobs, they're pretty fun, although you're probably going to get better value if you buy something a bit more expensive. And lastly, we have one of the most famous makeup brands, I think, Morphe, and the collectible minifigures. Both are known for being really good and really cheap. So now you know where the similarities are in terms of the community and its creators, but as well as the products and brands themselves. How do they both actually relate to each other? Or as I like to call it, how they work. Whenever there's a new product or a new range, both communities fight to be first. And both communities have creators that have a slight advantage to this because they're on their PR list or a part of LAN. Now this doesn't necessarily mean that the creator is sponsored, but they will receive free product from the companies. Then from that, reviews are posted and you go to your favorite channel because you want to know what the creator thinks about this product. Because at the end of the day, you form an attachment to these creators and trust their opinion. You want to know whether or not they like it, as that helps you as a consumer consumer to go and make a decision. For example, I recently bought the Millennium Falcon set and I wanted to watch a few reviews so that I could see if people enjoyed it and whether it was worth me spending my money and buying that set. Makeup, however, if there's a new mascara, I want people to try it out. I want to see how it looks, how it reacts, and if I think it's going to be best for me. Both communities also do tutorials and help you to become better at what you're doing. In makeup, that can be anywhere from doing an eye look or making your face look as natural as possible. And in Lego, that could be how to build this particular thing. How to motorize your train that wasn't motorized. And then of course we've got the thing that brought me to think about it in the first place, and that is the occasional drama. Now, one that those who buy a lot from Lego stores will really resonate with is the awful reward scheme. The new Lego VIP program sucks. They've redone their website, but still the rewards are still awful. It's really hard to redeem them. Like, it's just a mess. Which reminds me a lot of my experience with Sephora's reward program. I find both companies never tell me when I have enough points to redeem something, which is so frustrating, as I feel like I'm never getting any benefit or reward from them. The rewards for both of them as well aren't that great. At Sephora, I can get a mini sample of something in one specific color that probably doesn't match my face or my taste at all. And with Lego, they want me to use my points to enter a draw for a San Diego Comic-Con minifigure. One of the more depressing comparisons is that it can break your heart whenever you break one of their products. For example, I have a broken reddish brown chair here, which I still need to replace, which is painful. And I also had a really expensive bronzer which I dropped and shattered and haven't been able to put back together yet. So both communities as well like making videos explaining their worst products or their best products or things that they like, sharing their personal opinion. We see things like Just Too Good's top 10 list and Ryan's worst to first. And in the beauty community, we have the very popular favorites video type thing or worst products I've ever bought. And these are really good as it lets their audience know what things worked for them and what they recommend. So when you put all these things together, you can't deny that these communities are very similar, both in how they operate, the products that they talk about, and the way they interact with each other as well. A lot of them have a very strong community-based aspect, whether that be creators making collabs and going to Lego stores together or beauty influencers hanging out together at brunch. And as much as you probably think that these two products don't have a lot in common, at the end of the day, they both have the same meaning behind them. Both of them want to inspire creativity and imagination. And a lot of people watching this may argue that makeup doesn't do that because most likely you're a male, you've never used it before. But in my experience and seeing how it's used all around, it does. It inspires creativity. Like, makeup is used all the time in movies, for example. Take Star Wars. Without makeup, you wouldn't have all these cool aliens walking around in the original trilogy. I don't really know how to conclude this video. All I really want people to take away from this is that the Lego community is so much more than something like Ryan's toy reviews. That is a very different side of YouTube that a lot of Lego creators do not fall on. And that's the big controversy that when Copper happened, people were asking themselves. Because a lot of the people I watch especially are all AFOLs. And at the end of the day, although we're talking about a product that is primarily made for kids, we're talking about it from more of a collector display piece type standpoint. And this is all why I think that the Lego community should not be grouped in with that side. We are so much more like the beauty side, and you don't look at that and see, okay, that's just for adults, because kids watch it to learn too. I used to compete at dance, which meant I had to do stage makeup almost every weekend, and one of the ways I taught myself how to do it was by watching these YouTubers doing tutorials and doing makeup reviews so that I knew what to buy and I knew how to put it on my face. And at the end of the day, these products are for everyone. It doesn't matter what gender you are, what age you are, you can pick it up and you can play around with it and have a lot of fun. This was probably a very disjointed video and I'm sorry for that, but I really hope you enjoyed listening to all my thoughts and opinions. And if you still think that these two communities aren't roughly the same, let me know in the comments. I want to know what your thoughts are and why you think that they are different. And if you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel down below. Thanks so much for watching and I'll see you later.